So he's like, okay, I like that answer. And he pulls out this big thing of like, it's like a phone book, but it's like all like stuff I was supposed to read and understand. Like, I just got out of, you know.
They want you to decide it now.
I don't want to do anything. I'm just like, whatever, you know. Exactly. They want you to decide right there. And I'm like, none of it made sense to me. So I was like, okay. So I signed it. And I was a sucker. But hey, you know, I got 2.5 years out of it on Power Rangers. But that's how, it's this long version, but that's how I got on the show. It really was that, I guess, simple. Just auditioning and that was about it. It wasn't that exciting. But anyhow, getting on the show and doing the show was really cool. I remember my first day, we were at this park called Castaic where we shot most everything. You know, and they're like, can you guys rollerblade? And I was like, sure. Which I didn't, right? So I just threw these things on and I started rollerblading all over the place. And I started figuring it out. And I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. And then, and I'm not making this up, but Amy Jo, she had dreams about me. The first week, that's right. And dirty dreams, too. She was telling all the other people, and they were telling me, and then she kept giggling or whatever. But then eventually, it was just like, whatever, you know, she's kind of weird. Yeah. All right, so that's to start you off at the base of how I got into it. So if you guys have questions, I can start answering.
Who was actually in the suits?
What was that?
Who was actually in the suits?
In the suits, all right. I was in the suit when I was taking the helmet off. Otherwise, it was just Japanese guys.
I told you.
Or it was the Japanese footage. Even the females were Japanese guys. Yeah. Except for like, there's a certain part of the season of Mighty Morphin when they actually got women to play the women. And then but then most of the time it was Japanese guys. But in the first movie. The second movie was women, or was men, Japanese men. But the first movie they had girls in the suits, and those suits were pretty cool.
Yeah, that first
movie was like Batman, you know, with the
It was very
stuff.
uncomfortable.
Yep, they were 60 pounds. Actually, mine was 40 pounds. And Jason Frank had the big wings, and his was like 60 pounds. It was pretty crazy in there. That one we did a lot of it. We did like a quarter of our action because we had these different helmets that would morph into whatever abilities it was, and most of it was cut out of the show.
I try to cut out you, man. I am looking for someone, but I said it.
Okay. Get out there. Get So anyways, and they had like these cool things like the helmets in the first movie, which was all cut out, they would change. Like they would be like dark, you know, like sunglasses, and then like in a certain light they would change so you could see our faces or whatever. So we shot a lot of that. And we shot, actually, how many of you guys have seen the first movie, first off? Okay, so you know those ooze guys, right? The goo guys? So originally they were just giant rats. Big giant rats, you know? And they're like, in the costumes, it just looked like cosplayers, you know? Like these big giant rat guys, you know? It just looked really pathetic, like if I were to make the costume myself and then give it out to 50 people. And so they had to reshoot that whole thing because it just looked like trash. Yeah, so that was more than what you asked for.
What about the jammies?
What was that?
Your ninja jammies.
The ninja jammies?
The ninjetti outfits.
The ninjetti outfits.
Oh, the ninja. What about them?
I'd imagine.
What about them? they were actually much more comfortable, obviously. Well, in fact, I got to do all my stunts in that because my stunt double, we had this little thing going on. We were like, all right, let's see who can do the farthest, highest side flip, you know? So we were jumping off the mini tram to see who could go the farthest. And there was this corner, you know, like this kind of. But it was an actual long corner, and it wasn't soft like this, it was concrete. And so we had the pad here, the tramp there, we were jumping. And he won. But he went all the way over. Corner, fell straight down and snapped his femur.
Oh.
And then they were like, well, I guess you're going to do your stunts. Cool, you know. But they cut most of my stuff out. And then Billy, good old Billy, David Yost complained that I had
I got yelled at last
for
year.
this moment.
It's on.
All right, so in the first movie, I got the frog thing, right?
Yeah.
I am proud to tell you guys that I added the frog line. Originally, if she goes down the line of your ninja powers and she's like, you're the mighty ape, the blah, 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 you're this and the wolf, you know, whatever it is. And everybody had such cool things, and then it got to me and I was like, you're the frog that does something else, or whatever it was, in the script. And then, you know, Tommy, the falcon, winged lord of the sky. You know? And my frog thing was like so dumb that I was like, you're kidding me. You know, I was like, could I please just be pissed off about it? You know, see how it works, you know? And then it was like, all right, we'll do it like the script, and then we'll try one, you know, where you can be bummed about being the frog, and play it out that way. And so we played it out that way, and I was like, you know, pissed, and I was like, frog, you know, and it worked. But then I wanted to add more to it when she kissed, because she goes, because I said I'm a frog, she's like, yes, it's a frog, like the one you kissed in the Handsome Prince. And she kisses me, and she goes on as a Tommy, the wing lord of the sky, right? But I wanted to be like, yeah, like, think that was cool, and then be like, wait a second. What kind of power is that? I don't get it, you know, I just kind of let it fade away as I'm complaining, but yeah, it did happen. In the second movie, which wasn't much better than the first one,
No.
I got the minivan, you know? everybody got a cool freaking, you know, time. I got the race car, you know, and the little kid got the freaking monster truck. You know? Everybody had like cool cars, and I had a freaking green minivan. So I was like, please let me be bummed about it, but it was a whole different director and crew, and so it's like, no, stick to the script. You know, they could add something fun there, but no. Something funnier than my hair, by the way.
It's not the car, but how you use it.
Yeah, I guess, but I didn't really use it that
Funny,
much.
the hair was
So.
just sad.
Yeah.
The hair was depressed. Or oppressed.
No, I didn't get to keep the minivan, and it drove awful too. It was like they picked it up at a junkyard, threw some wheels on it. You know, it was like it doesn't work really. So yes, what other questions do you guys have? What would you like to know? Yeah.
Did you ever secretly wish that you could have been the Red Ranger?
Secretly wish to be the Red Ranger?
Like, you know, be the leader, since the Red's the leader.
There was, you know, I don't know if I didn't really care that much. I actually was having a good time being on the show, to be honest with you. And once they started to realize that they can actually write lines for me and it would be okay, you know, I had more fun with that. Like, unfortunately, Turbo season wasn't the greatest season, but they started to play with that a little bit more, so it was more fun for me, you know. And I always felt like, you know, the leader or whatever was always just this really stale character. You know, it was like, whatever, you know, it's kind of the same guy. So I actually wanted to become evil or something.
That would have been
I
cool.
wanted to become evil and then die. Because, I mean, that would just be something you would forget, right? Cool ending. Exactly. It's something cool, you know? In fact, in the second movie, they wanted to do something where it's like my costume gets ripped to shreds and everything, and I come out and I have to get a new power. But then it was too cool for Power Rangers, and they're like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. All right, okay. I'll drive the minivan and be like everybody else. And the frog. Yeah. The cool thing about the movies, though, is the first movie we shot in Australia, you know, which was like a cool place. Other than Sydney was like gay's capital, whatever. Not that whatever, you know, I get, but it was just bizarre to see guys dressed in miniskirts with nothing underneath and things hanging out. So that was a little odd. And then the second movie I got to shoot in Hawaii, which was kind of cool too, because I'd never been there. But you know, good times, good times. So, questions? Yes. Think of good questions. Yes.
Do you have all your toys?
Do I have all my toys? No, I don't. I think my parents have some of the toys, you know.
Oh.
And I've signed a few of them. I really wanted to get the one of me with the flip top head, you know, my head comes up like that, you know. I wanted that one, and then I think I bought it at one point, but I think somebody stole it from me. Yeah.
Can you still do any moves?
I can still do moves. In fact, right now I'm like studying kickboxing because I'm trying. There's a show that I might be on that I'm supposed to be doing like real fighting, and it's not official yet. So.